I guess the only thing that was coming in my mind during this time, the disciples. Can you share anything about the disciples? I know there's a lot of misinformation on my side because there were 4 disciples. The one passed away 50 years after Jesus died.
There was 12 disciples.
Oh, okay. So John, Matthew, Mark, and Luke are the main 4, you mean?
The main 4.
Okay.
But there was others. And you got Judas, who was the one that betrayed Jesus.
Betrayed. Oh, okay. All right.
So that's the reason why that he was allowed to be crucified. If you're looking at the biblical story.
Okay.
So, and without this, there would have been no crucifixion.
Right on. Okay. Very interesting. So let's delve in a little bit on as you said, quote unquote, your turning point, right? I'd like you to hold this, and you can bring it in the center, but I think I'm not talking too much, so I want equality for you.
Okay.
Face it the other way side. Yeah.
Okay. No
Just
problem.
a little bit higher. That's it.
Okay.
So if you can talk to me a little bit about what aspects or like anything that didn't compute with you, like, because it's out of the ordinary, you waking up one day and just saying, I want to be a Muslim.
Well, I wasn't just like one day suddenly making this decision.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of a process, and it was like having a discussion with a brother who lives in Pakistan and having this
Virtual discussion. Okay. Interesting.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. So even to this day, it's like we still talk.
Right.
And there's questions that I'll ask him that because he teaches kids about, like children, about the Quran and how to recite and.
Okay.
So back to the idea of the Trinity. It's like you figure the creator of the universe. He excuse me. He creator of the universe. He who created everything. Do you think he would come up with a better solution to forgive sins tend to say, oh, I got a great idea. I'll divide myself up in 3. If you think about it in this sense, okay, some Christians believe that he was already 3 in 1 from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So keep this in mind. But still, to say I'm going to send a third of myself, the Creator,
Right.
sending a third of myself to be the creation.
Right.
To grow up to start out as a baby, go through what a baby goes through. Think about it. The Creator wearing diapers.
Yeah.
Now that's hard to wrap your mind around. Okay? Still growing up, teenager, experience all the things that a teenager experiences. Then, final thing is that he's being led to the slaughter.
Yeah.
Really, because he's dying for the sins of mankind.
Yeah.
So you look at this and you think, okay, why does this not make sense? But you have to have faith that this is the way it is. But then when you look at Islam, and when you look at forgiveness, there's no mediator. You don't have to go through Jesus. You don't have to go through a priest. You don't have to make these channels. It's straight to Allah.
Yeah.
And then you ask him for forgiveness.
Yeah, very monotheism based.
Yes.
Any comments on? again, these are all stories that I learned speaking with Christians and priests that that speak in public places. There was a servant, a Jewish servant, that came to Jesus, and he said that out of all the commandments, which one is the most important? Right? Out of the 10 commandments, which one is the most important? So then Jesus replied to him, Hear, O Israel, your Lord, our Lord is one Lord. And then I guess the Jew replied, correct, teacher, or I think they used to call him teacher or master or something like that.
Yeah, it come down to teacher, yes.
Correct, teacher. Our Lord is one God, and He only deserves our attention to be worshipped, right? And then Jesus said that you belong to the kingdom of heaven. So
Yes.
why did Jesus not correct him, and why would he? That's something that maybe you can give me a different interpretation, because I ask people about that verse, and there's always 10,000 interpretations that what it could have meant. But why is it's like so black and white? Why he's saying your Lord, our Lord is one God?
A lot of times Christians would say that Jesus never referred to himself as God.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but they also point out that even though he didn't do it himself, he still is. And it's like, okay, this does not make sense, right? And it's later on that one of the later writers of the New Testament added these things in about Jesus being the Son of God. So when you look at it that way, and don't quote me on this, I'm not a Christian scholar.
Okay.
So I'm just in regards to my knowledge of this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And hanging around with priests and ordained ministers, and so this is what I'm coming from. And a lot of Christians, their zeal for their belief is like, because this is what their parents believe, this is what their grandparents believe, so they have to believe the same thing, but they're not willing to open their mind to something else that could be
The true reality.
the true reality. That's the thing, and that's a good way to phrase it. And when you look at that, because they think anything else is from the devil, so if it's not from the Bible, then the devil's telling them that this, and then
Deceiving you. Yeah.
yeah. So, but so once again, we still got to be careful
Exactly.
of this, because any type of deception is bad. And I still have a lot of good Christian friends that
I do as well.
So when you look at this, and I don't want to step on their faith, because it's still
that's not your job. Yeah.
no. It's like it's not my job to judge either.
Yeah.
It was never my job. I'd be sitting in some courthouse if it was my job to judge.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you look at, and I'm gonna, and this is another thing that comes to me, because I've been with the Jamal for so many days, and it's when you're looking at salah or prayer, concentration in prayer. Okay, for me, and I was thinking about this quite a bit today, you should start off before you get into the mosque. The first thing you should do is put your cell phone on silent. Put it in your pocket and forget about it. Okay? Number one. And think about this as an onion, that you're taking off layers as you're getting closer and closer to where you're going to pray. Okay? But inside, it's not your typical onion. It's a pearl. Okay? So as you're taking off layers of stuff that you're leaving behind from the outside world, This will help you with your concentration. Because if you wait for that moment that you go Allah Akbar and you start praying, you're not going to be able to. Your focus is not going to be there. But if it's a gradual thing that you're slowly getting rid of stuff, it's going to help you. You're still not going to get to the point that your concentration's so good that, you know, if you've got an arrow stuck in your foot, that somebody can pull it out.
Oh yeah.
But at least you would be able to get through your prayer without worrying about tomorrow's exam, or, oh, I got my phone bill's due tomorrow, or how I'm going to get gas for the car. These thoughts are not going through your head. Your thoughts is, what's really surprising too, because if you know the Arabic and you know what's being said, this should affect you in your heart. You know, and it's like if you're really listening to what's being said, then you know, you truly listen, and you know, draw closer to Allah, because these are words to help you. This is not being said for Allah's benefit. It's said for our benefits, for us to get through the next couple of hours without tripping over our own 2 feet. Because as people, this is what we do when we fall into things that we shouldn't fall into.
I agree 100%. I think it is also important to, it's worthwhile to mention to the viewers watching, how long has it been you in Islam, right? Because you're a recent Muslim, but maybe you can mention that. And also, now that you are a Muslim, what has it opened your eyes to? What change do you see? How differently do you view life?